So, and I'm going to skip above there real quick too, and I'll read the paragraph on the Deen, and this you got
And
in
that
brackets
was
for grade
that was
12.
from grade 8.
Yes, yes. So this quote is Deen, in fact, denotes a system of beliefs, a code of life. It does not merely signify the spiritual fulfillment of the individual. It means all matters pertaining to a way of life, for it encompasses religion, law, trade, commerce, morality, politics, justice, foods, drinks, clothing, in fact, all aspects of life relating to people's thought or actions. This is the most fundamental point that should be grasped in trying to understand Islam, because in this comprehensive sense, religion is a Muslim's life. That all historians declare that the amazing success of Islam in dominating the world lay in the astounding coherence or sense of unity in the group. And of course, my understanding that, of course, is the Ummah, but I've never actually heard of the Deen before. So do you want to dive in just with
Well,
that right off the
all
bat?
all of the verses in the Quran that are relevant to Western civilization in terms of governance and law and obedience, all of those words do not use the equivalent of religion in Islam. In Islam, they do have a word for creed or religion. The word is millah, and it is used in a very minor sense. But when it comes to the verses that impact on Western civilization, the word that is used is deen,
Mhm.
not religion. And students are told repeatedly throughout the entire curriculum that Islam is not a religion. We insist on calling it that because we simply don't have a word for what religion is, and also because the definition we use was prepared by Western academics for Western academics who didn't have a full understanding of what Deen included. Now, for example, a very famous dictionary, Arabic English dictionary, is Lane's Lexicon, and it was prepared by a British academic for Western academics, and it spends a whole paragraph talking about religion and leaves one sentence to include law, governance, all the aspects of Sharia that include commerce, trade, every aspect of life, literally every aspect of life is covered as that definition given to the children says, virtually every aspect of life. That got one sentence at the bottom, like an afterthought, like it didn't matter. So the word deen is actually used almost 100 times in the Quran. And that is what we should be calling it, because that definition really matters. So I'll give you an example. So when we read, for example, Quran 9:33, it is he who sent his messenger with guidance in the religion of truth to manifest it over all religion, although those who associate others with Allah dislike it. And people don't worry about that because they figure every belief system, almost, Judaism doesn't, is expansionary to a certain extent, and they want missionaries to go out like Islam, this is Dawa. So you think, well, they all do that, it's nothing to worry about. But actually, that is not how you read this. If you read this with an Islamic lens instead of a Western lens,
Sure.
what that says is it is Allah who sent Muhammad with guidance, which is Sharia, and the civilization of truth, which is Islam. So Allah sent Muhammad with Sharia and a civilization to manifest it over all other civilizations,
Mhm.
although those who do not practice Islam dislike it. So we don't, and we should look at Deen, at Islam, as being a civilizational entity, not a simple religion, because that is in fact what it is. And so we don't treat it accordingly. You know, we give it charitable status and all those things that we give to what we think are harmless,
Mhm.
religions, when it really is nothing like that. And the children are repeatedly told it is nothing like that. And we're very foolish not to treat it the way that it should be treated, which is, a competition in terms of civilization, not just belief. Yeah.